राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये भक्त्या विहीना अपराधलक्षै क्षिप्तस्य कामादि तरंग मध्ये कृपामयी त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना वृंदे नुमस्ते चरणारविंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु का साथ जब मिलित हुआ रूप गोस्वामी प्रयागराज में, तब उन्होंने उनको प्रणाम किया। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतिसे नमः। चैतन्य देव किसी ने सन्यासी विचार से उनको नमो नारायणाय ऐसा बोल के नमस्कार करने से उन्होंने कान में हाथ लगा दिए थे। खबरदार, जीव को नारायण ज्ञान कभी करना नहीं, कभी नहीं करना। लेकिन जब रूप गोस्वामी बोला नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते, आप महावदन्य, आपको मैं नमस्कार करता हूँ। किस लिए महावदन्य? कृष्ण का बारे में बोला। चैतन्य देव सनातन गोस्वामी को उपलक्ष्य करके क्या बोला? जीवात्म में कृष्ण ज्ञान कभु न करिबा, जीवेर स्वरूप है कृष्णेर नित्य दास। कृष्णेर तटस्थ शक्ति भेदा भेद प्रकाश, कृष्ण भुड़ी सही जीव अनादि बहिर्मुख, अतए माया तारे देय संसार दुख। कभू स्वर्गे उठाए कभू नरके डुबाए, दंड जने राजा जन नदीते डुबाए। जीव होता है कृष्ण का नित्य दास। स्वरूप जीवे स्वरूप कृष्ण नित्य दास। कहाँ बोला? काशी में। यहाँ बोला चैतन्य देव ने बोला जीवे स्वरूप है कृष्ण नित्य दास। और ये भी बोला ये कृष्ण का अंदर में 4 गुण, भक्तवत्सल, कृतज्ञ, समर्थ, वदन्य। ऐसा कृष्ण छोड़ करके जीव अन्य को भजन नहीं करते। कृष्ण का अंदर में भक्त वात्सल्य है और कृतज्ञ। इन्होंने जो कर्म किया है ये जानते हैं, समर्थ है, इनका सब कुछ करने के लिए योग्यता है, समर्थ है। और वदान्य, वदान्य का मतलब है महान दाता। इसीलिए जीव कृष्ण छोड़ करके और किसी को भजन नहीं करता है। और यहाँ बोला रूप गोस्वामी ने, क्या बोला? नमो महावदन्याय, आप महावदन्य, आपको मैं नमस्कार करता। किस लिए महावदन्य? आपने कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदान किया। आप कौन है? कृष्ण। आप कृष्ण है। किस लिए महावदन्य? आप कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते, आप कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदान करते। कौन है आप? कृष्ण है। आप कृष्ण ही है। आपका नाम क्या है? कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने। आप कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम से महावदन्य। इसलिए आप महावदन्य। महावदन्य, महावदन्य बोला, यहाँ बोला महावदन्य। किस लिए महावदन्य? न कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते, आप कृष्ण प्रेम देते हैं। आप कौन है? कृष्णाय। कौन सा नाम धारण किया है? कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने। आप कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम रूप से ए महावदन्य। आपका मैं नमस्कार करता हूं। तो इन्होंने महावदन्य हुआ, कृष्ण हुआ वदन्य, और इन्होंने हुआ महावदन्य। महावदन्य किस कारण? आप कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते, आप कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदान किया। कौन सा नाम में? ना आप कृष्ण आयो, कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने। आप कृष्ण ही है, लेकिन आपका नाम है कृष्ण चैतन्य। और आपका वर्ण क्या है? न गौरतिसे नमः। आपका वर्ण है गौर वर्ण, कृष्ण वर्ण नहीं है। इसलिए आप महावदन्य। इसलिए आपने राधा भाव लेके आया, और राधा का वर्ण और कांति इसी लेकर ही आया है। इसका कारण क्या है? कोई कृष्ण ही है। उस वक्त कृष्ण होने से आप महावदन्य बन गया। आपने कौन है? और राधा का वर्ण और भाव ये लेकर आया है। एक रोज राधा रानी कृष्ण नाम उच्चारण करते हैं। उनका प्रियतम सखी ललिता वो कहती है, सखी आप कृष्ण नाम छोड़ दीजिए। कृष्ण नाम करते करते तुम्हारा शरीर गल गया, काला पड़ गया, बोलते कृष्ण नाम छोड़ दो, कृष्ण नाम करने का जरूरत। तो उन्होंने बोलते हैं ये कृष्ण नाम छोड़ना मेरे लिए कठिन है। किस लिए कठिन है? ना कृष्ण नाम में इतना महिमा है, जब जीवा में उच्चारण करता हूँ तब जीवा तांडव नृत्य शुरू कर दीजिए। तुंडे तांडव विनिरति वितुनति, क्या होता है? जीवा तांडव नृत्य करते हैं। और मैं कैसे बंद करूं? जब कान में सुनता हूं तो करना बस प्रियम, हमारा और वो करना प्राप्ति को इच्छा होती है, क्योंकि दो कान में कृष्ण नाम सुनकर मेरा तृप्ति होता नहीं, और वो करना जरूरत। चेतो प्रांगण संगिनी विजयते सर्वेन्द्रियाणाम कृते, जब चित्त में स्मरण करता हूँ तो सब इंद्रियों को क्रिया बंद हो जाता है। आँख दिखता नहीं, कान सुनता नहीं, त्वचा स्पर्श अनुभव करता नहीं, सब इंद्रियों को क्रिया बंद हो। तो कैसे मैं कृष्ण नाम बंद कर दूं? कृष्ण आकृष्ट होकर आ गए, आके राधा रानी को श्री अंग को स्पर्श किया और कहने लगे राधे मैं आ गया। कोई चैन नहीं है। तब कृष्ण विचार किया, ये हमने स्पर्श किया, उनको स्पर्श सुख अनुभव हुआ नहीं, सामने में खड़ा है, आंखों में दिखता नहीं। राधे शब्द करता हूं लेकिन क्या आंखों में दिखता नहीं। इसका मतलब है सब इंद्रियों का क्रिया बंद हो गया। और इधर उन्होंने बोलते हैं जब कान में कृष्ण नाम सुनता हूं तब कर्णारुदिवस प्रियम, और वो कर्णा प्राप्ति के लिए इच्छा होती है। जब चित्त में स्मरण करता हूं तो सब क्रिया बंद हो जाता है। तो एक कृष्ण नाम में कौन सा अमृत है जिसलिए हमारा यही अवस्था हुआ। ऐसा जब देखा तो कृष्ण ने सोचा कि हमारा नाम में ये लोगों का इतना आनंद प्राप्ति होता है, तो मैं इस आनंद को कैसे प्राप्ति करूं। इस आनंद को प्राप्ति करने के लिए उनका भाव और उनका वर्ण आश्रय करने पड़ेगा। तभी उन्होंने राधा रानी का भाव और राधा रानी का वर्ण वे कोई कृष्ण श्री चैतन्य रूप से अवतरण किया। इसलिए उन्होंने हुआ महावदन्य। रागिनी का माध्यम से कृष्ण रस आस्वादन करते। रागिनी द्वारा कृष्ण करे रस आस्वादन। तो इसीलिए उनका ऐसा हुआ, कृष्ण ही राधा का वर्ण और राधा का भाव लेकर ही कृष्ण रूप से अवतरण किया। इसलिए उन्होंने महावदन्य ऐसा रूप लिया। तब कृष्ण का इच्छा पूर्ण करने के लिए चैतन्य रूप से अवतरण। इसलिए कविराज गोस्वामी वर्णन किया, रागिनी लड़ाई कृष्ण करे रस आस्वादन भक्ते सुख दीते पुनः रागिनी कारण। रागिनी शक्ति का माध्यम से कृष्ण रसास्वादन करते आ गए। रागिनी द्वारा ही भक्त को प्रेम देते, ऐसा ये बात नहीं तो एक होगा नहीं। जब भी कृष्ण और राधा एक है, तब भी इनमें कोई अंतर नहीं, तब भी रसास्वादन रस वितरण वादिनी का माध्यम से व्यवसाय। इसको क्लियर कर दिया राय रामानंद प्रसंग में। राय रामानंद प्रसंग में राय रामानंद जब एकांत में चैतन्य देव को मिला, तब उन्होंने कहा, प्रथम देखी दो तुम्हारे सन्यासी स्वरूप। प्रथम मैं आपको सन्यासी रूप से देखा, उसका बाद क्या देखा? सन्यासी स्वरूप देखने का बाद उसका बाद देखा कि आपका श्याम गोप रूप, अब आपका देखा श्याम सुंदर रूप। तुम्हार सम्मुखे देखी कंचन पंचालिका, तार अंग कंते तुम्हार सब अंग ढाका, ऐसा बोला। अर्थात पहले तो सन्यासी देखा था, उसका बाद क्या देखा? कृष्ण। बाद में क्या देखा? सन्यासी स्वरूप देखने के बाद श्याम गोप रूप आपको देखा, श्याम गोप श्याम सुंदर कृष्ण रूप से देखा। तुम्हार सम्मुखे देखी कंचन पंचालिका, आपका सम्मुखे देखता हूं क्या? कंचन पंचालिका, सोने का मूर्ति। तार अंग कंते तुम्हार सब अंग ढका, उनका अंग का कांति से ही तुम्हारा सब अंग ढक गया। ऐसा तो ये सब समझना बड़ा कठिन। जब भी इसका शुरू किया, क्या शुरू किया? बड़ो श्लोक साध्य निर्णय, प्रमाण का साथ साध्य साधन बताओ। तब उन्होंने वर्णाश्रम धर्म से शुरू किया। वर्णाश्रम वर्ण आश्रम धर्म पालन छोड़कर और कृष्ण आराधना करने के लिए कोई रास्ता नहीं। वर्णाश्रम क्या है? वर्णाश्रम पालन छोड़कर कोई रास्ता नहीं है भगवान का जानने के। वर्णाश्रमचारो पुरुषेण परोपमा विष्णु आराध्यते पंथा नन्नो तत्त स्वकारणम। वर्ण एवं आश्रम धर्म व्यतीत कृष्ण आराधना करने के लिए कोई मार्ग नहीं है और कोई रास्ता नहीं। तब महाप्रभु क्या बोला, यो बज्जो आगे कहो और। तो एक के बाद एक बोलने लगा, वर्णाश्रम धर्म को छोड़ना। इसी में भी ये बोलने लगा, वर्णाश्रम धर्म त्याग करना। उसके बाद बोला, जो वर्ण और आश्रम धर्म पालन करने के लिए बोलता है, यो वज्य आगे कहो आज। यही वर्णाश्रम धर्म पालन का आगे बताओ। तब बोलता है, कृष्ण कर्म सर्व सर्व कर्म त्याग, जब करोसी जब अस्नासी जब जुहोसी ददासी जब तपस्वी गुणते तब कुरुष्व मदद बनाम। जो तुम करते हैं, जो तुम खाते हैं, जो तुम यज्ञ करता है और जो सब तुम दान करते हैं, ये सब मुझको अर्पण कर दे। तब भी बोला, एको वज्ज आगे कहो आप। इसलिए समझना बड़ा कठिन। एक दफा इसको बोला, ये छोड़कर और कोई उपाय नहीं है भगवान का प्राप्ति के लिए, फिर इसको छोड़ो। फिर बोला क्या, सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज। सब धर्म को परित्याग करके एकमात्र मेरा ही सहारा लेना। बाद में क्या बोला, यो वज्ज आगे कहो। एक एक को लेकर हम लोग जब विचार करें तो ये पहले ये सब विचार उत्तम बोला, बाद में इसको खंडन किया। तब उसका बाद क्या बोला, बस सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः। तुम सर्व धर्म को परित्याग कर एकमात्र मेरा शरण में आ जाओ, मैं तुमको समस्त पाप से मुक्त कर देंगे। कृष्ण उसको क्या बोला बाद में, यो बच्चो आगे कहो। एक दफा बोला, सब धर्म को त्याग करके एकमात्र मेरा सहारा में आ जाओ, मैं तुमको समस्त पाप से मुक्ति कर दूं। फिर इसको बोला, यो बच्चो। ठीक है, एक दफा जब बोला, ऐसा धर्म त्याग करके मेरा शरण में आ जाओ, बाद में बोलता है, यो बच्चो। इसलिए लेकिन ये जो शरणागति है, इस शरणागति में शर्त है, सशर्त शरणागति, निष्काम शरणागति नहीं। पाप से मुक्ति मिलेगा इसलिए शरणागति हो जाओ। निःशर्त शरणागति नहीं। तो ये शरणागति शरणागति है। पाप से मुक्ति प्राप्ति के लिए शरणागति। भगवान में शरणागति होने से अपने आप तो सब चलो जाएगा, तो शर्त को क्या जरूरत है? इसमें भी सब आगे आगे। बाद में क्या बोला? ज्ञाने प्रयासमुदपश्य नमन्त जीवन्ति सन्मुखरितां भवदीयवार्तां स्थाने स्थिता श्रुतिगतां तनुवांग मनु जो प्रयसो जीतो पयसी तई स्थिरताम्। ए ब्रह्मा जी ने भागवत चतुर्दश अध्याय दसम स्कंद में ये बताया। सब क्या है? ज्ञान का प्रयास, अर्थात इंद्रिय जो ज्ञान से भगवान को जानने के लिए जो चेष्टा, इसको ऊर्ध्वपश्य दूर में फेंक देना। और क्या करना? नमन्त एव उनमें शरणागत हो जाओ। और जीवन्ति सन्मुखरितां भवदीयवार्तां आपने साधु मुख विगलित मेरा कथा में आश्रय करो। स्थाने स्थिता, स्थाने स्थिता मतलब जहां पर सत्संग है वहां अवस्थान करके श्रुति भाव मनो कान से सुनना, वाक्यों से बोलना, शरीर से उसका आचरण कर, तब बोला कि एहो होए, मैं भगवान का शरणागत हो गया। इससे सब हो जाएगा। भगवान का शरणागत होना शरणागति नहीं है, क्योंकि भगवान जो भूमिका में है वो भूमिका में मैं नहीं। वहां जाकर भगवान को बस कहता हूँ पाप पाप कर्मण पापात्मा पाप संभव, एक कान में हाथ लगाता हूँ, प्रणाम करता हूँ, उठता हूँ, सब कुछ करता हूँ। ये तो बोल दिया पाप पाप कर्मण पापात्मा पाप संभव। तो एक महात्मा देखते हैं ये जो सेठ ये कोपोटी है, इसलिए भगवान का पास शरणागति नहीं है। तो उनको डर आवाज दिया पापात्मा जरा इधर आ जाओ। एकदम गुस्सा हो गई। तो गुस्सा का कारण क्या? आपने क्या बोला? मैंने क्या बोला? 2 पैसा का रंग ला करके साधु भेष ले लिया तो साधु बन गया। दूसरी को ऐसा पुकारना पापा सुना बोल के, बोले आपने अपना 4 नाम बताया विज्ञों का सामने में, तो ये आपको परिचय नहीं। आपने बोला पापात्मा पाप संभव, पाप से ही मेरा जन्म, ऐसा बोला। तो ऐसा झूठ बोला, उसमें तो मैं एक ही प्रयोग किया। तो इसलिए महात्मा के पास शरणागत हो जाए तो उन्होंने उनको कसूर को पकड़ देंगे, बोल देंगे। बड़ा मुश्किल, लेकिन साधु के पास वो नहीं, तो साधु ने बोल देगा। पहले भगवान का पास शरणागत हुआ, विग्रह का पास शरणागत होगा, ये शरणागति है। ये सब बोल देगा। बड़ा मुश्किल, मैं शरणागत है भक्त, और ऐसा ये दोनों जो दोनों नहीं है। साधु का पास शरणागत, वो साधु आपको गलती निकालती। तभी बोला चैतन्य देव एहो होय, ये स्वीकार किया। और अपना जो विद्या बुद्धि है, इनमें जानने के लिए जो चेष्टा, इसको इसको बाहर में फेंक दो और शरणागत हो जाओ। कहाँ शरणागत हो? साधु का पास। इंद्र जो ज्ञान का ऊपर भरोसा ना करके इसको फेंक दो, तभी बोलता है यो होय, नहीं तो होता नहीं। उसका बाद ही होगा हरि भक्ति, नहीं तो हरि भक्ति होगा नहीं। बड़ा मुश्किल, इसलिए ऐसा होगा। चैतन्य देव का ही वैशिष्ट है। सनातन गोस्वामी का उपलक्ष करके शिक्षा दिया, संबंध ज्ञान का। रूप गोस्वामी को उपलक्ष करके क्या बोला? अभिधेय तत्व। राय रामानंद को उपलक्ष करके बोला प्रयोजन तत्व। ये सब एक करे तो आस्ते आस्ते आगे जाएगा। इसलिए कविराज गोस्वामी ये तीनों को अलग अलग स्थान पर शिक्षा दिया। ये चैतन्य देव का एक वैशिष्ट है। जहाँ कर्मों का प्राधान्य है, वहीं दिया कर्म और भक्ति का अंतर देखा था, वहीं प्रयोजन तत्व उपदेश दिया। काशी का लोग एक ज्ञानी है, अहम ब्रह्मोस्मि, इसलिए हुसैन साहब बादशाह का प्रधानमंत्री सनातन का उपलक्ष्य करके और प्रश्नों को लाया और उत्तर दिया। और वहाँ ये जो क्या है, ये अहम ब्रह्मोस्मि, यही विचार को खंडन किया। और वो लोग जो इसको स्वीकार नहीं करता था, वो लोगों ने का भी शिष्य बनाया और रूप गोस्वामी को उपलक्ष्य करके वो भी प्रचार किया। वो भी तो है भक्ति। इसलिए उन्होंने कोई भक्ति का विषय में विस्तार किया। भक्ति का 64 अंग उन्होंने प्रचार किया। ऐ प्रभु बोलो।
Today Śrīla Maharāja started mentioning that how Śrīla Rupa Goswāmi Pad, he came to Prayag and met with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he paid his obeisances, at that time he chanted one verse by saying Namo Maha-vadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Nama. So Śrīla Mahārāja, first of all, he started speaking the meaning of this verse. Namo Maha-vadanyaya. Śrīla Rupa Goswāmi Pad is saying, I pay my humble obeisances at the lotus feet of that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Maha-vadanyaya. Śrīla Mahārāja mentioned what is the meaning of vadanyaya. A person who is Shrestha Data, means giving that particular highest thing which is rare to attain by one's own efforts. So that's why he is known as Shrestha Data, topmost donor, or a person who gives topmost charity. So that's why that person is known as Vadanyaya. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been called Maha-vadanyaya. Why? Because he has given Krishna Prem. Namo Maha-vadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. Krishna, he performed his pastimes, but did not give or teach others how to attain Krishna Prem. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he taught others through his own example, through his own conduct, that how to attain Krishna Prem. That's why he is known as Maha-vadanyaya. Krishna is being called Vadanyaya only, and Mahaprabhu is being called Maha-vadanyaya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he spoke about Sri Krishna to Śrīla Sanatana Goswami Pad, over there he mentioned the 4 special qualities of Krishna, and out of that, one was Vadanyaya. That means Śrīla Mahārāja proved that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, he is saying that Krishna is Vadanyaya. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he heard that Rupa Goswami Pad is saying that he is Maha-vadanyaya, Mahaprabhu did not deny this. He admitted that also, that yes, he is Maha-vadanyaya. For this, Śrīla Mahārāja mentioned that earlier, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas, and wherever he used to go, many people, according to the tradition, as soon as they see any sannyasi, they pay their obeisances by saying, Namo Narayan, Namo Narayan. Means you are direct manifestation of Narayan, and I am paying my obeisances to you. But when Sriman Mahaprabhu, he used to hear this, he used to cover his ears with his own hands by saying that, oh, never ever call a Baddha Jiva Narayan. Why? Because it is not possible for a Baddha Jiva to become Narayan. But when Rupa Goswami Pad, he mentioned that you are Krishna yourself, at that time Mahaprabhu did not said anything. He accepted. Why? Because Śrīla Rupa Goswami Pad, he is not just saying this, that oh, because everybody follows this tradition by seeing the sannyasis saying something, so I have to also say the same thing. No, he was fully convinced, he was fully realized. Śrīla Mahārāja, sometimes he uses one word, bhed chal, means people of this world mostly, what kind of consciousness they have, that if they see that somebody is doing something, they also start doing the same thing without having any deep understanding of it even. So that is called Bhed Chal. Bhed means a sheep. And sheep is having a nature that if one sheep somehow or other starts walking in one direction, then all other sheep follow that sheep also. So in the same way, people of this world, they are having that kind of consciousness. But Srila Rupa Goswami Pad, he was not having that kind of consciousness. He was fully convinced about the position of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why he called him Namo Maha-vadanyaya. And Mahaprabhu also accepted that yes, whatever you are saying, I accept it. And then Srila Maharaj mentioned second thing is that how it is possible for Krishna to become Vadanya to Maha-vadanyaya, because Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. So how it is possible that when Krishna is Vadanya, Mahaprabhu became Maha-vadanyaya? For this Srila Maharaj gave one pastime, that how once Srimati Radhika, she was calling out the name of Krishna, and it was becoming more and more difficult for her to survive. She was barely able to utter the name of Krishna. At that time, her dearmost Sakhi, Shrim Lalita Devi, she started speaking with her that, "O Radhike, because of Krishna, you have given up everything. You have given up your family members. You have given up your parents, even your husband, as well as you did not care at all for the rules and regulations of the society. You did not even thought about your destiny. You gave up all kind of considerations, but still Krishna did not care for you. He does not care for you at all. So I want to give you advice. It is better that you can forget Krishna. Because of him, your body became pale. You are so thin. You are unable to even speak anything. Why you are having so much attraction or so much affection for Krishna if he does not care for you at all? So it is better you can give up chanting his name, uttering his name. So at that time, Srimati Radhika, she mentioned that, "Lalite, what I can tell you, how I can reveal my heart to you, just by hearing Tunde Tandavani Vitnote. As soon as this name, Krishna, comes once on my tongue starts like Tandav Nitya, like that kind of particular dance which Shiva performs, and by which earth also starts shaking. That kind of dance. So Srimati Radhika, she mentioned, my tongue becomes like that, wants to perform Tandav Nitya. As soon as this name Krishna enters into my ear, what happens? Immediately I desire to have 100 crores of ears. And as soon as this word Krishna enters into my chitta, in my consciousness, what happens? All my senses stop working. This is my position. Cheto Prangan Sangimini. That as soon as this name enters into my chitta, my all senses stop working. So how it is possible that I can give up chanting the name of Krishna? While she was mentioning these things with deep concern, immediately what happened? She went into her internal consciousness, forgot everything of this world. And what is the nature of Krishna? The nature of Krishna is that wherever his devotees, they chant his name with love, he appears over there. So Krishna came over there and he touched the body of Srimati Radhika and mentioned that, "Oh Radhike, I am here." But still Srimati Radhika did not reciprocate at all, did not respond. So Krishna, he started thinking that what to speak of Srimati Radhika, even other gopis, they are familiar with the fragrance of my body. Even if I am very far away, they can tell from which direction I am coming just because of fragrance. Now I am here, close to her. I am touching her. I am calling her name Radhe Radhe, but her ears does not hear that I am here. Her sense of touch does not work. Her eyes are even open, but still, even after opening eyes, she cannot see that I am standing here. What kind of love she is having for me? I want to relish this particular love. So when Krishna, he developed this desire in his heart, at that time, what he did, he took shelter of Srimati Radhika's bhav as well as Srimati Radhika's anga kanti, means her bodily luster. Earlier, like most of the time, we hear that how Krishna, he stole the bhav as well as the complexion of Srimati Radhika. But Srila Maharaj today he mentioned that Krishna, he took shelter of the bhav of Srimati Radhika, because unless and until one takes shelter, one cannot conceive that particular thing. By stealing, one cannot keep in one's heart like the way Krishna was able to do. So that's why he has taken shelter of Srimati Radhika's bhav as well as anga kanti, the complexion of Srimati Radhika. And that's why he was able to have it, and because he is, by this what happened, he became the combined form of Radha and Krishna. That's why Krishna, he is Vadanya, but Mahaprabhu, because he is the combined form of Radha and Krishna, that's why because of Srimati Radhika, it is possible for him to distribute that Krishna Prem which is there in the heart of Srimati Radhika, and by this he became Maha-vadanyaya. This was the second reason which Srila Maharaj mentioned. And then third thing Srila Maharaj mentioned, that Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswāmi in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita he mentions Aladinir Dwarai Kare Ras Aswadan. Krishna, how he relishes rasa. Rasa means anand, bliss. How he feels bliss, how he relishes bliss through Aladini Shakti, through Srimati Radhika. Aladini Dwarai Kare Ras Aswadan. He himself relishes through Aladini Shakti, Srimati Radhika. And Bhakt Sukh Dite Puna Aladini Karan. And when he is giving pleasure to his devotees, then also how he is able to give it, because of with the help of Aladini Shakti, with the help of Srimati Radhika. In this way, Srila Maharaj mentioned that for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it became possible to relish as well as to distribute Krishna Prema. He relishes, means with the help of Aladini Shakti. He relishes this Krishna Prema himself, as well as he was able to distribute it to other devotees. How? Again with the help of this Aladini Shakti. And then Srila Maharaj mentioned that even though Srimati Radhika and Krishna, Shakti and Shaktiman. Shaktiman means the possessor of Shakti, potency, and Srimati Radhika, she is known as potency. There is no difference in between Shakti and Shaktiman. There is no difference in between Srimati Radhika and Krishna. But why they accept these two forms? Because they want to relish Rasha as well as they want to distribute it. Because they want to relish it as well as they want to distribute it. That's why they accept two different forms, even though they are one. Shakti, Shaktir Matur Abheda. They are non-different, but still they manifest these two forms. And this is what is been evident in the pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's meeting with Rai Ramananda in Godavari. At this place, Srila Maharaj started mentioning that this particular thing which Srila Rupa Goswami Pad is mentioning, that Sriman Mahaprabhu is known as Maha-vadanyaya. Who can really realize it? Or who can realize that he is the combined form of Radha and Krishna? Who can attain that particular thing which Mahaprabhu came to give? Krishnai Krishna Chaitanya. When he accepted this name as Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Who can really get or become qualified, eligible to enter into that particular circumstances, that particular stage which Mahaprabhu wants to give. For this he himself taught through Rai Ramananda Prabhu. When he met with Rai Ramananda Prabhu, he asked him, Pado Shlok Sadhyar Nirnay, that, O Rai Ramanand, you can speak about Sadhya and Sadhan, that what is the ultimate goal, as well as what is the process to attain it. When he asked this, he mentioned him very clearly that whatever you have to speak according to the evidence of scriptures. Without that, it is not acceptable. So when Srila Rai Ramananda Prabhu heard this, from the very beginning, the very first thing he started mentioning, Varnashram Achar, this verse, that how if one wants to attain the topmost destiny, that means the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, Krishna, how he can attain it? By following Varnashram Dharma. One has to follow Varna and Ashram Dharma, then and only then one can achieve that highest goal. Then Sriman Mahaprabhu, by hearing this verse, Sriman Mahaprabhu mentioned Eho Bhajye. Means, even though we hear the translation most of the time that it's external, Eho Bhajye means it's external. But Srila Maharaj mentions, in reality, this is not the proper translation. It's not external in reality. Then what is this when Mahaprabhu says Eho Bhajye? Eho Bhajye means Sriman Mahaprabhu mentions that at one time it is required. But when a sadhak, he is like in a higher position, then it is not required anymore. But it does not mean that it is useless or it is completely external. There is no value of it at all. It is not like that. Srila Maharaj gives an example. Otherwise, what was the need for Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to establish Daivi Varnashram Dharma, if that was not required at all? That's why it is required, but it is having some special purport in it. Like Srila Maharaj gives very simple example from Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math Vrindavan. He was mentioning one time that how when his Guru Maharaj Samadhi, Srila Bhakti Dait Madhav Goswami Maharaj Pushpa Samadhi was constructed, and when it was completed, the day of deity installation came. At that time also, there were some bamboos outside that Samadhi temple, near the wall of Samadhis. 2 or 3, 4. Then the devotees, those who were coming for the ceremony, they were saying that, oh, please take out these bamboos. These bamboos does not look good at all. Then Srila Maharaj, he asked that without these bamboos, we were unable to construct this Samadhi. Because the labor, they had to climb on these bamboos, and they were making like a stairs through this, ladder through this, and then they were constructing everything. So now how come that earlier it was useful, now it is useless? Earlier we had so many bamboos around, and now you are saying that even 2 or 3 bamboos are also not looking good. Why it is like that? So Srila Maharaj mentions in the same way, earlier which thing was required, after constructing the building, that particular thing is not required anymore. So that's why it is called as Eho Baye. Another example Srila Maharaj gives, that in Chandigarh, outside the gate, they are having a very big peepal tree, banyan tree, not banyan tree, but peepal tree, ashwath tree. So when it was very tender, very small, at that time there was a need for fencing, so that even a very small animal, if that animal will enter over there, he may be harmful for the plant. But when this plant is grown into a big tree, then that fencing is not required at all. But to speak of any small animal, even the elephant is unable to harm to this tree. So that's why fencing, when it was required, it was required. Now it is not required. So this is called Eho Baye. Means at one time it was required, other time it is not required. So in the same way, Varnashram Dharma, or the second thing which Rai Ramanand Prabhu mentioned, that what one has to do, one has to offer everything to the Lord, Karmarpan. One can offer everything to the Lord. Then Mahaprabhu mentioned that also, Eho Baye. Why? Because when you are doing this, you are considering that something belongs to you, and then you are offering to the Lord. But when you will be having higher consciousness, first you are asked to do that at least. Then when you are having higher consciousness, then there is no point even that anything belongs to me and I have to offer to the Lord. That's why this is known as Eho Baye. And then third thing Srila Rai Ramanand Prabhu mentioned is about Sarv Dharman Parityajya. Even though this is the topmost teaching of Sri Bhagavad Gita, but still this was also been rejected by Mahaprabhu by saying Eho Baye. Means at one time one is supposed to do that at least. But afterward he has to understand that this kind of Sharanagati, surrender, is not real surrender. Why? Because in this there is a condition that, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, I will give up. Krishna is mentioning that you can give up all kind of religious duties, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, Maam Ekam Sharanam Braja, and become completely surrendered to me. And then in reward, what I will be doing? Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshishyami. I will make you free from all kind of sins. So this is condition over there, and a devotee get attracted that yes, I can take shelter over there, by this all the sins will go away. So here, even though, because everybody progresses step by step, it is not possible that one can become unconditionally surrendered to the Lord in the first point. But with the association of sadhus, he can go from one stage to another, another to another. In this way he can progress. That's why Sriman Mahaprabhu mentioned Eho Baye. So wherever he is saying Eho Baye, means if somebody only sticks to that particular point, then he will not be able to attain that particular thing which Mahaprabhu wants to give to the jivas. And where he has to come, where his real thing starts, that yes, now he is becoming qualified, eligible to attain that particular thing which Mahaprabhu wants to give. It starts with Jnane Prayasam Udupasya Namanta Eva. When Mahaprabhu heard this verse from Rai Ramanand Prabhu, at that time immediately he admitted, he mentioned that yes, Eho Hai, yes, now you have come to the point that what really one can attain, how that Krishna Prem can be attained. Then he mentioned, Srila Maharaj started mentioning Jnane Prayasam Udapasya Namanta Eva, that one has to give up Jnane Prayasam, the effort of attaining Jnana. What kind of Jnana? Which one can attain with one's own senses. that kind of particular endeavor should be given up. Jnane prayasam udpasya namanta eva. Then what one has to do? One has to surrender. Now this surrender is completely different from the surrender of Bhagavad Gita, where there is condition. Here is no condition. And then it is mentioned that Jnane prayasam udpasya namanta eva. First you have to give up your consciousness of attaining Jnana through your senses. How? Like uprooting a tree completely and throwing it out as far as possible. Like Śrīla Maharaj mentions, Śrīla Prabhupada's words, he used to say, Upade fele dao. Chude fele dao. Upade fele dao. Means you can uproot it. But just uproot, like uprooting will not do. Sometimes we see you can uproot a tree. If it is at the same place, again it can grow. You can see like that. But then Śrīla Prabhupada mentions Upade fele dao. Means you have to take it and throw it in such a place like on a stone or a rock where it does not even get chance to grow again. Jnane prayasam udpasya namanta eva. Then you have to be completely surrendered. Sanmukritam. Where? At the lotus feet of a sadhu. Sanmukritam. Bhavadiye varta. Then you have to jivanti sanmukritam bhavadiye varta. You have to lead your life according to the words emanating from the lotus lips of sadhus. Bhavadiye varta. Sthane sthita. And then you have to fix yourself at that particular place. Sthane sthita. Śrīla Maharaj mentions again and again that it does not mean any particular place like Vrindavan, Navadvip or Jagannath Puri. He mentions Sthane Sthita, means that particular place where you get the chance to hear the pastimes of the Lord from the lips of pure devotees. At that particular place you have to fix yourself and take shelter over there. Sthane Sthita, Shrutigatam Tanuvang Manobhi. You have to give your full ears over there. You have to surrender over there with your body, mind and words. And then and only then it is possible that you can conquer that Lord who is unconquerable by any other means. And by hearing this, Srimad Mahaprabhu immediately mentioned, Eho Hai. Yes, that particular Krishna Prem, which is there in the heart of Srimati Radhika, which I want to distribute, which I want to relish. From here it starts. Yes, Eho Hai. So in this way, Śrīla Maharaj concluded by saying that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is having a very great speciality. And what is that? That he started conversing with Rai Ramanand Prabhu about Prayojan Tattva, at which place in Godavari, where there is prominence of Karma Kand, where people are Karma Kandis. They don't even accept the glories of Bhakti, the service to the Lord. Over there he started speaking about Bhakti and established the superior form of Bhakti over there. And then at the end of his conversation with Rai Ramanand Prabhu, he proved very clearly that which is been mentioned by Rai Ramanand Prabhu himself. He mentioned that, "Oh Prabhu, first I have seen you as a sannyasi. And then I saw that you manifested yourself as Krishna himself. And then I saw that your bodily limbs are covered with the hue of golden Panchalika, means that particular form of Srimati Radhika which looks like golden." So in this way, this has been like established in the banks of Godavari itself, that how Sriman Mahaprabhu is the combined form of Srimati Radhika and Krishna. And that's why it was possible for him to deliver that particular thing which is the wealth of Srimati Radhika's heart. That's why he is known as Maha-vadanyaya. And then Śrīla Maharaj mentioned that how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave teaching to Śrīla Sanatana Goswāmi Padu. Where? In Kashi. At that place where everybody identifies himself with Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. Wherever everybody calls themselves that they are non-different from Brahma. And at that particular place, Mahaprabhu established that yes, whatever they say is completely wrong. Jivar Swarupai Krishna Nitya Das. Jiva is the eternal servant of Lord Krishna. And why he is suffering and how he can attain that particular thing. This is also been established by Mahaprabhu in Kashi. And then he gave teaching to Śrīla Rupa Goswāmi Pad, where? In Prayag. At that particular place where people considered that performing yajnas is the topmost way to attain the Lord. Over there he established the superiority of Bhakti. That's why Śrīla Rupa Goswāmi Pad, he mentioned 64 limbs of Bhakti, and then one by one he concluded that how Nam Sankirtan is the topmost process among all the other limbs of Bhakti. This is what I remembered, that how Śrīla Maharaj mentioned everything. Yeah, so this is what Śrīla Maharaj mentioned, that when Srimad Mahaprabhu, he gave teachings, he gave instructions to Śrīla Sanatana Goswami Pada, that those teachings are known as Sambandha, Gyan. And then the topic which he discussed with Śrīla Rupa Goswami Pada in Prayag is known as Abhideha. And the topics which has been discussed by him with Shri Ramanand Prabhu is known as Prayojan. Hare Krishna. क्या चीज? भूल जाएंगे.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.